All right, we're here for Torah Shem Wednesday night, the 9 o'clock plus class, plus because we never start on time, and we like it that way. And we're here. It's the Torah Shem. We've been a couple weeks ago, we were talking about Sinai and the Jew and the Ger. We're both there. Everybody's been stuck on this. The reason why I introduced Pam to help fast tonight. Everyone's asking me about this. Jacques is talking my ear off about Sinai and the Jews and the Ger and the people, and we will do and we will listen. So we may be well beyond Sinai and the Parshiot, but everyone's still there. And I think we're about one class away from locking it down for all of time. And the last remaining question that Pam was getting at, what is it, Pam? 24/7? Am I right? 24/7?
Yeah, that's the verse.
Everyone's stuck on this, and a good way stuck, because they're getting it. Everyone's about to get Ger. That's how it is. Everyone's just about to get there, and I mean get there in the language. And Pam asked me, I don't even know if it was yesterday or 5 weeks ago. I don't remember. But what is this book of the ancient covenant or the book of the covenant, whatever it is? We're going to look inside. I'm just paraphrasing. And I'm not concerned with the language because I researched it and I know the answer. So we're going to start class. I want Pam to frame the background and keep it general. Just introduce us and address the question. What is the you'll give your question. You had your question. You had me look it up. And then when it gets to the point where I looked it up, I'm going to give over the answer. So go ahead. I'm here with you. Go ahead.
Okay. Pardon the dog in the background.
Fido, sit down.
That's our little Pomeranian. Thinks she's a Rottweiler. Okay. Here's where we were. I have had this question for a very long time about Deuteronomy. In Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 9, let me read it. Just because this really kind of ties in together, in my opinion.
Right.
Okay, 29. Let me find it. I should have been more ready.
I like that I want you to do this because it's your question, and if I address it, they're not going to hear the question.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Yeah, people need to hear the question before I jump in, so go ahead.
Okay, Deuteronomy 29, verse 9 says, and this is Moses speaking. He says, "You are standing this day, all of you, before the Lord your God, your heads, your tribes, your elders, and your officers, even all the men of Israel, your little ones, your wives, your stranger that is in the midst of your camp, from the hewer of your wood into the drawer of your water, that you should enter into the covenant of the Lord your God."
Where is this again? Wait, where is it again?
29, Deuteronomy 29.
Yeah.
I'm on verse 12 now.
Okay.
9 through 12 so far.
Now you got me to perk up. Now I'm with you. See,
Okay.
you need a little bit of Pam energy here. Keep going, Pam. You're getting me going. Keep going.
That he may establish you this day unto himself for a people, and that he may be unto you a God. And as he spoke unto you, and as he swore unto your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. 13, neither with you only do I make this covenant and this oath, but with him that stands here this day before the Lord our God, and also with him that is not here with us this day.
So let's hold on a second. Now you got me to wake up. Now you got me to wake up. See, I know my mazel.
Okay.
I would love to have a cup of coffee, but I'm not going to make you guys go through that.
I got one.
So let's change the class a little bit. You guys want me to get a little bit nuts? You want to get a little bit nuts?
Sure.
So we know we know where we want to end up, and that is the Sinai, blah 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 blah, right?
Exodus 24.
Right, but you chose to take us to 29:12 and 10, whatever it is.
Yeah, 29.
The covenant And as I remember you asked me a year ago or whatever, it's here, right? This is really more important than Sinai because this is after Sinai. Whatever happened in Vegas stays in Vegas. Right? So we're here now. So don't you – I know we want to know Sinai, and we're going to do that. But isn't the real issue what is the covenant here? Isn't that the issue?
I think it's the rededication. I think.
Oh, I didn't ask that. I said, don't we want to know what the covenant is?
Yes.
All right. So we know there's a covenant, and we want to know what it is. One or two, everybody. Pam, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
I unless I'm crazy, I think I'm looking at a ger word. Doesn't it say v'gercha asher b'kara b'chanecha in 29:10?
Yes.
So if I'm not crazy, there's a ger here. Are we in agreement on this?
Moses makes that perfectly plain.
Okay, so there's a covenant, and there's some gerim in that covenant. Is that true?
Yes.
And we got to assume it's the same covenant as Sinai. Okay, we had our little balagan in the desert and stuff, but it's the continuation or rededication of that same covenant. Would you agree?
Yes.
So if we can say that this ger is in this covenant, and what is that covenant, then we should be able to remaster it and map it back onto Sinai in the original format. Agreed?
Agreed.
All right. So I did get the answer of Sinai, I think, but it's from logic. Here, we're not using logic. We're using Torah Shem Onyx. That's what I call it now, Torah Shem Onyx. I propose this. We go into the Torah Shem on 29:10 and 11. What do you say about that, Pam Rogers?
I think that would be awesome.
All right. And remind me, because I'm probably going to go, far out, when it's all said and done, remind me how this ties in with Sinai. Okay? Don't forget to remind me of that.
Okay.
All right. I told you I'd jump in and take over, and I'm a man of my word. All right. Now I got to think about the books. Let me see here. I would love that coffee, but I'm not going to do it. All right. All right. We're in 29, 10, and 11. 29, 10, 11. Did I do a gear light on this? Let me just see if it's a gear light. Hold on. 29. 20. No, I didn't. Oh, interesting. It's not. 29 to 12 is. Wait, why did I put 29? What's 29 to 12? Why was that?
May establish you this day unto himself for a people, and that he may be unto you a God.
So it's 12, not 11. It's 10 and 12. Yeah, Gercha Sheru. Yeah. Okay. I got it. Wait, hold on. One more question. Did I do a class on that? No. Okay, good. So this is, so that's good. So this is another Ger Light class. You guys like that? Ended up with Ger Light. How do you feel about that?
Woohoo.
We're knocking out the Ger Light years later. Varim.
This is just more clarification.
That's it. 100%. We refine it every day. I forgot to get my bound books from the guy. Stop sending me emails so I can get my books back from the bookbinder, please. You guys are keeping me from doing this. Eric Bryan, I'm talking to you. Let's see here. I had planned on getting my books back. It just things happen. In Gear headquarters, and those of you that know, it is in fact Gear headquarters over here.
While you're looking, one of the reasons this jumps out at me and has for a very long time is that Moses specifically defines who's standing there to enter into the oath with God.
Why? So, as I'm looking for books, say it really slow and clear in English. I want to hear your point. I believe you. I just want to hear it.
What I was saying is that Moses...
Read it in a way that you prove to me that they are standing there. I want to hear it.
He says in verse 9, you are standing this day, all of you, before the Lord your God.
Okay.
And then he defines who all of you are. He says your heads, your tribes, your elders, your officers, all the men of Israel, your little ones, your wives, and your strangers.
So there's a bunch of people there, including a ger, who are going to enter into a covenant of some kind.
Right, that you should enter into the covenant of the Lord your God.
The covenant.
The covenant.
Very good. Okay.
And into his oath, which the Lord your God makes with you this day, that he may establish you as his people. Or establish you this day unto himself for a people, and that he may be unto you a God.
All right, let's look at it inside the Hebrew now. You're right. I hear it. 29. All right, let's see here. It's the end of the Parsha. Turn
13.
Yeah.
Actually, 14 would be kind of cool. But okay.
10. Okay, here we go. See, I like what you did, Pam. You got us really nice inside. That's good. I couldn't have done that. See, I could not have done that. 10 Nitzavim, you're all standing here today. Kulachem, Lifnei Hashem Lehechem. Okay, who's here? Who's here standing? Sheichem, Shiftechem, Ziknechem, Shtrechem, Kol Ish Yisrael. Tavchem, Nashechem, Gircha, Asher Bekorev Bechanecha, Mechotev, Etzecha, Ashoy V'mecha. Why? La'avarcha bebris Hashem Elohecha, Vodo Asher Adonai Elohecha, Koros Imcha Yom. Laman Hakim Odcha Yom Lo La'am. Lo Yeh Lecha Le'Elohim Kasher Diber Lach, V'Kasher Nishba Le'Vesecha, Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, V'lo Idchen. Levadchem Anochi Koros Es Habris Azois, Es Ha'ala Azois. Ki es asher yeshno po yimanu omed hayom lifnei Hashem Eloheinu. Es asher ein lo po yimanu hayom. Ki atem yadatim es asher yeshavnu be'eretz Mitzrayim ve'es asher avarnu bekerev hagoyim asher avartim. Tiro es shikutzeihem ve'es geluleim etz evin kesev. Okay, now we're going to write stuff down, right? Mishpacha shevet. So we all came out of Egypt together. Is that right, Pam? 1 or 2? Everybody 1 or 2. We all came out together?
And this is 40 years later.
That's right. That's right. All right. So now we're going to do this right. We're going to knock this out once and for all. You guys want to end the charades here?
Please.
You guys ready to end the charades? Let's do it. We already beat up Asher Meza, the convert maker, last night. Today we're going to beat up those that say the gear were not in Sinai. Let's do it. All right, just talk amongst yourselves for a second. I'm gonna figure out where the loose thread is. All right, so I'm gonna go bye. I'm here with you, but you guys are on. Pam, if you want to talk it out, feel free. I'm not with you.
I'll continue, I guess. Eric's right. We should go through 15.
So go ahead. Go ahead.
But anyway, this ties into Exodus chapter 24. Because at Exodus 24, now this is in my own...
Wait, real quick, one rule. Do not open up a rabbit trail. I'm not going down it, all right? Please don't do a rabbit trail.
So
I'm focused on the thing, okay?
I need to...
I mean, you go where you want to go, but don't start off topic. I'm locked in here, all right?
Well, I was just going to state that in Exodus 24, it's like they're taking an oath too.
That's good. So keep going. That's good. Keep going.
But I don't know how far to go before I hit a rabbit trail.
Well, so just try not to go down the trail. Anyway, I can't go down that trail with you. I'm here.
I hear you. But it appears to me that when we get into the book of the covenant thing, which he will in a little bit, that what they're doing is they're restating their commitment to that covenant in both places. It appears to fit together. You just get more detail when you read one and then read the other. It just makes more sense.
Okay, Shefes Moshe Lifnei Akash Baruch Hu B'Yomo Soshelechos Miris. Okay. Aha, here. I'm just going to interject with little sound bites. So, all right.
Yep.
Lama and Nicholas the commentary say, why now? More than any point in these 40 years. What's going on today? If not now, when? Yeah, okay, that's the Susei Chachamim. Anybody that wants to take notes on Rashi, verse 9, all right, and the Susei Chachamim commentary, just if you want to take notes, and you can spell it as you wish. Don't ask me how to spell it, just spell it. Travis, good to see you. It's another snow day. So, why now? Today, 40 years, Briz, da-da-dee-da-da-da. That's the first question. So that's good. They're thinking like you, Pam. They're getting to it. Why? Who's here? Sheichem, Shiftechem, the heads of the tribes. Chachamim. The Imlo Cain, Elo Roshechem Shvartim Kulacham V'Chav Miftei Atzmo Kashem Roshechem Lamed. All right. So if it's not tribes, everyone's there by themselves. And that's hard to say. Got it. Zignechem Shtarechem. So it's the most important people are there first. Okay. Mechotev Atzecha was that 10? Tefchem Neshechem. No. So what is 12? 1 second. I think that's a misprint. Chaim did a misprint. It's not 12. It's 10. Mr. Chlorphine, that's a no. Is that a mistake in the book, by the way?
I don't know.
Is that a mistake in the book? It should be 29:10, not 29:12. What does the book say?
I do not know. Hang on.
Look in the book for 29:10 or 29:12. If it's a mistake, please write Chaim and tell him. Don't tell me now. Just write the Chaim.
It says 29, 9, and 10.
Okay, so then I got the mistake list. Okay, good. Mechotev Etzecha. Where's that at? Where is that? Mechotev. There it is. Okay, totally. Rashi left out the gear completely. But here we go. Okay, we got some gear here. Ready?
Uh-huh.
We found some gear in Rashi. 29:10. The wood chippers, what do you call it, right? Malamin Shebal Kananim. Lehi's Gair in the days of Moshe. The Canaanites came and became Ger in the days of Moshe. Sisei Chachamim. The Aina Kavana Lomer Sharimo Moshe Kamo Sharimo as Yeshua Chas V'Sholom Sharimo. As me Shenemar Allah V'Kol Beisi Neman V'Hu Elisham V'Alav Lashlim Amo V'Lo Kablan Nitnin Kofe Eitzu L'Shovi Mayim V'Gam Meima Shabal Avalo Shikol. Okay. Kedera, the same way that the Gibeonites in the days of Joshua, and this says the Gibonim that they made also. Ema Ba'arama V'Nitna Moshe Chod Ve'itzu. Okay, so they made Ger out of the Canaanites. Those are the wood chippers, and that's most likely, we know it, not a convert. So the Canaanites are going to come after Sinai, and if they became Ger, it's a proper Ger. That means they accept Moses, his prophecy, and the Torah of Moshe. Which, you can say that's the same thing for a convert, right? Someone who comes to Sinai, the Sinai covenant later, but it's also Ger.
Right.
It's at least both. The point is that people can come to this nation of Israel even after Sinai is sealed. So there is a concept of convert or ger and fleeing to Israel. Agreed?
Agreed.
All right. And they're part of the covenant. They're not second rate. They're not any. They're part of the covenant.
Moses says so.
Moses said so.
13.
Hold on. So now, Balatorim. And again, we know the answer here, guys. I told James this tonight. We're doing it sourced. You understand the difference? I want everyone to know the difference here. We know gear, okay? This is not a surprise. We're looking in the source, being objective, and letting the Torah win out. I'm not mapping what I know inside. That's why we're embracing the fog, right, Travis? If I was not embracing the fog, I would say I know what's going on, and I don't know what's going on. Right? We're trying to learn the words, and I don't know what's going on. I cannot claim that I know what's going on. I can lie and say, yeah, pal, Ger is part of Sinai. Let's go. But that's not why we're here. We want to learn the words. Right? We're here to learn how to learn text. This is a yeshiva after all. All right, with that little announcement. The Baal term is going to mention Ger. Ready? What does he say about Ger? Nashechem v'samich le v'gercha. Why are the women next to Ger? That's the Baal Turim question. Rame shalo huzharo kashrus l'hinasei l'psulin. Very interesting. Hold on a second. V'samich le v'gercha ramaz shalo huzharo. They were not cautioned kashrus l'hinasei l'psulin. Samich le v'gercha ramaz shalo huzharo. Aha. This goes back to what I was learning last night. This is what I was saying. You see how the women and the Ger are next to each other?
Yes.
That means that, this is what I've been saying the whole time, a Jewish woman can marry a Ger or somebody not regular. Basically, fourth house of Israel stuff, the mamzers, and all these things that the women can marry when within the scope of the law, right? The Ger, which is a nice way of saying Ger, fourth house of Israel, right? Because remember, where does the Ger, fourth house of Israel come most practically? In marriage, right?
Right.
If there's a Jew and he's got whatever issues, right, in his lineage, and he meets the non-Jewish or illegitimate Jewish, blah, 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 right? Bob loves Jane. Didn't Bob love Jane, everybody? Yeah, Bob loved Jane. And they went to the rabbi, and they said, Rabbi, Bob loves Jane, and Jane loves Bob. Remember that happened? And the rabbi said, all right, Bob, do you really want to marry Jane? And he said, yeah, I love Jane. And he said, but Jane is an illegitimate child, right? And your kids are going to have a bit of a, spiritual stain. He says, I don't care, Rabbi. I love Jane, and I love Jane. So they're going to get married. Now, can I marry Jane? David Katz, Rabbi Kohen, can I marry Jane? No, I can't marry Jane. So when I met Jane, we fell in love, and she said, oh, Katz, are you a Cohen? I said, yes, I am a Kohen Tzedek. She said, well, I'm fourth house of Israel Ger. I can't marry you. Have a nice life, Rabbi Katz. And I said, be well, Jane. May you find Bob in your little world. But not everyone's a Cohen, right? And therefore, what is Ger halakhically? It's marriage. That's all it is. You understand why? You understand that? It's like not everything has a big spiritual, like, wow. Where does Ger matter to everybody? Where does Cohen matter practically to everybody?
Function.
That's it. It really comes down to who can marry who. The original Sanhedrin were wise men, right? The whole Jethro Moshe thing. Right. You know what they were asking Moshe? Everyone says, oh, they went with their halachic questions to Moshe, right? No, they didn't. They were asking who can marry who, because it's complicated. It's complicated, right? What happens when my mom had me and she left my father, but it wasn't a full divorce. She cheated on him, okay? And she was a Suffolk mamzer herself, and the guy she cheated with was a Suffolk Kohen. My dad was lesser of a Suffolk Kohen. Blah, blah, blah. Is the kid an Israelite or a fourth house of Israel? Do you understand the question? In terms of as I presented it,
I think
it's now an issue. So now my mom had me, and I'm like secular, right? And I went to yeshiva, and I got there, and I'm like, hey everybody, David Katz showed up. I'm super Jew. I'm so glad I found the truth. And then I wanted to get married, and they said, so tell me, David, where you come from? Well, my mom was a little bit interesting. Really? What do you mean by that? Well, Dad was an interesting kind of guy. It ends up being, to get the story, okay? That's when the shadchan, the matchmaker, says, okay, David Katz, what are we going to do with you? There's a lot of girls that you cannot marry. And I would say, why? They'd say, well, you have halakhic issues. But don't worry. There's a lot of people that have halakhic issues, and we'll find you somebody. What's that called, Pam? Fourth what?
Fourth house
of Israel. Right? That's why it exists on a practical level. On a practical level. Now, obviously, there's a lot of great spirituality. Right? I'm a great person, even though my family lineage is a little bit mangled in this little analogy. Right? It's not a true story, but you understand the point. So actually, Pam, this is pretty good. If we have 29:10 and the Baal HaTurim says the women and the ger are juxtaposed, why? Because we're a complete people now. Isn't that what Moses said? We're now a complete people?
That's what he's saying.
So then all four houses should probably be here. If we're a people, we got to know who can marry who.
Absolutely.
So that's what the Baal HaTurim is saying. Right? It's saying that the juxtaposition, it's not like the women are shacking up with the ger. It's not that. Right? It's literally people are going to meet. They got to have a nation born. We got to know who can go with who. And I posted a picture last night on Facebook. What is the job of Elijah? This. To know, reestablish the Sanhedrin. Who can marry who? It really does come down to that. And why? What is the first mitzvah of the Torah? Let's hear it, everybody. What is the first mitzvah of the Torah? Numeral uno. What's the number one, first one listed? To be what? Fruitful and what? Multiply. It is the entire Torah. So it makes sense that the embodiment of the entire, what will be the entire people, is that mitzvah. If we don't know how to do that, then Israel's pretty useless. Okay, that's the Baal HaTurim. So you already see, we could probably even stop now. We're not going to. But you see, we know who's here. Let's not kid around, right? We know who's here. But let's keep the fun going, right? And we're going to want to know where Rashi is getting the wood chipper ger, and he left out the other ger. That's a little bothersome that he did that. Let's find out now. I'm looking now at the Ramban. Let me a second here. It's a long one. Hold on one second. All right. So he says the first part of the Ramban, everybody's here. We already know that. Thank you. And, okay, here we go. Second part of the Ramban. Does anybody have an English Ramban at home? Anybody? One or two?
A little bit of Ramban. I've got some.
So if you have Ramban, if you want to follow along with me, look at Ramban, Nancy, on our verse. Okay? I'm just going to announce stuff. If you have it, open it. Okay? If you don't, pay attention. It's just the more the merrier. If you can join in where I'm at, that's all the better. Once we lock this thing down, I'm going to turn it over to more talking and less text. So bear with me. We're further mentioning the Canaanite Gerim. Okay, the Taf, Nashim, and Gerim, and wood chippers and water pourers. Want to hear a Kiddush? Who wants to hear a Kiddush?
Please.
What do you think the Ramban calls this conglomerate bunch? Any takers? No. Go away. No.
To make multitude?
No. That's right. Erev Rav. And everyone knows in Judaism that's a 4-letter word.
Yep.
But in Gerism, it's just called reality. right? There are good elements of Erev Rav and bad elements of Erev Rav. I'm guessing the Canaanites were probably a rougher crowd. I'm guessing the Ger was probably the more refined crowd. Right? And everyone that knows Ger world today, it hasn't changed. It's the same thing. There's the Rough Riders and the Relaxed Riders. Va'avi sham hataf aviyam bebris. Okay, so the taf, they came into the bris. Whatever the bris is. We don't know what the bris is. Ki afilu im hadoiris ha'atidam yichurus bris. Even in future generations, we will cut the bris. See that, Pam?
I do.
The bris is not static, is it? It is dynamic. O kedei l'schutam, or to give merit, like the reason we say in Hakel, Chagiga 3a, Rabbi said, Yavamas, Shabal, Katsat, Kananim, in the days of Moshe, Kedera, Shabal, days of Yeshua, we didn't know Chod, the Eitzim, Shove, Mayim, Ve'ena, Kavana, Lomer, Sharamu, Aval, Bo, Alav, Hashlimi, Amo. They came to complete the nation. Ki ken hamishpat ka'asher bireno v'kach matzati v'mirish tanchuma v'lamdacha shabao etzel Moshe v'lo kablam. They came by Moshe and they were not accepted. Klomar, what do you mean, Ramban? What do you mean? Let's find out what he means.
Absolutely.
Yachulo l'ramoto l'chros lahem bris. They were able to enter the bris. Aval as asa em miyad chotvei eitzim. What does that mean? Hold on a second. Why is that not adding up? I'm missing a Ramban here. Hold on a second. Why is that? It got real funny. Like it's missing words. Hold on. It says you gotta be. It's a subtle thing here, I guess. What is it? Klomar shelo yachlu l'ramoto l'chros. Wait one second. Klomar shelo unable to elevate them to seal them the bris. Okay, yeah. They couldn't. Oh yachlu l'ramoto l'chros lahem bris. They couldn't l'chros lahem bris. So they came, but they couldn't. Like. It's hard to say in English. They couldn't seal a bris with them. They couldn't seal the bris, the covenant. They couldn't like make it done. Aval, but they made with, but they. It's a weird word. Ayin shin aleph mem. What is that? Asa im miyad chodfei eitzim. Chodfei eitzim. 1 second here. Basically, they were attached to Israel, but they were not. Wait a minute. You know what? He's quoting Midrash Tanchuma. Yeah, let's get the Tanchuma. That's why Ramban's just like copy and pasting. Let's get the Tanchuma. You guys want the Tanchuma?
Absolutely.
Let's do the Tanchuma. That's 7 days. How much you want to bet that we don't understand the Ramban? Because I bet you he left out pertinent information. What are the chances of that happening? And then people on Facebook copy and paste it like they know what they're talking about, and they never saw the entire source. What do you think? What are the chances of that happening?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Probably pretty good. All right, here we go. So the Ramban is quoting the Tanchuma, Midrash Tanchuma, right?
Okay.
Let's see. I bet you this is very interesting. I wonder what's going on. Let's cheat. Yeah, let's see what's in Tanchuma from the very beginning.
Okay.
I'm guessing there could be some stuff here. Let's see here. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay, here we go. He's just quoting his here. Hold on. They're all mixed up. Aravim, mixed up. Afilu tzadik echad b'neichem kulam oimdim b'schuto. Lo atem bavad ela. Afilu tzadik echad b'neichem kulam b'schuto omed. Shemar tzadik yisod olam kishe echad mechem choten. Kol ador loke. Even if there was a tzadik here and a bunch of bad people, It's not going to ruin it. Okay, Mina Tova Maruba, or Chascham, the Kamal Chavim, Kolish, Strava, Lova, Gulim, Shabachem, Lovan, Lofilo, Zefchem, Neshim, Yercha. Aha. Okay, not everybody was great. Ella Afilu, even the tough, the women, and the ger. Look, Kach Nemar Kolish Yisrael, the fee Shabasar, Vadam, Merachim, Al Schudam Yoiser, Mendekavus. Baruch Hu Enokin, Ki Merachim of Al Maisiv, Al Zachim, and Ekavus. All tzaddikim of Rishayim Shemar V'chodav Eitzav Ashoev Mimecha. V'chodav Eitzecha Amar Yitzchak ben Tavli Melamed Shabal Gibonim by Moshe. Okay, the Gibeonites came by Moshe. Velo Kiblan Ubau Etzel Yeshua ben Nun v'Kiblan Shenemar v'Rasu Gam Hema ba'Arma Mao Gam Hema L'Lamedcha Shabal Etzel Moshe Velo Kablan. So these how do you say it in English? The Gibeonites, they came by Moshe. That's who these people are. The Tafchim, the first word in 10. I don't know how you translate that in your art scroll. And Moshe said, you're not, it's not Kablan. It doesn't mean accepted. Okay, I just researched this word on Shabbos, so I'll explain it in a second. By Joshua, they were Kablan. Let me think how I want to explain what that word means. Yeah, they didn't accept the mitzvahs. You understand this? By Moshe, they didn't properly ger. So they didn't seal the bris. You understand now, Pam? They didn't seal the covenant because the Canaanites didn't make it real. They weren't fully ger. By the time of Joshua, they were becoming ger. That's why the Gibeonites were different.
Right, okay, I get you.
Therefore, the Ramban is saying that's not a bris when they came. If everybody would have done their job, guess what would have happened? We would have been done. But I think the wood chippers and water pourers did ger. Yeah, exactly. There we go. Rashi's making sense, boys and girls. Right? The wood chippers and water pourers, they geared out. You understand? They geared out in the days of Moshe, like the Gibeonim in the days of Joshua. But the Gibeonim were like these, the tough. Let me just double check that one more time. Right? The tough who did not properly gear out in the times of Moshe. Let me just double check this before I just read. One second. One second. The Gibonim Etzel Moshe Velkam Bo Etzel. So who are the Gibonim? Can somebody please do a quick search while I'm doing this? I want to know exactly. This is one of those Torah Shems that we're embarrassed that we don't know what we're doing. Right? Everyone's like, yeah, I know what the Gibeonites are. Sure. Yeah. No, you don't. I want someone please tell me, I don't know, while I'm doing this, I need to know who the Gibeonites are. Like, really know. Because they converted, or Ger converted, whatever, in Joshua and not in the days of Moshe. And if they would have done it right with Moshe, okay, it would have sealed the covenant. They probably would have brought Mashiach. It's a big moment. That's why this is important. They made them Gam Hema Ba'arma. V'nit Moshe Chutfei Yeshua 9 Tanchuma. Oh, Pam, you got me on a nice dig here. This is good stuff. We got to really dig deep.
I'm going to PDF what I just found. Can I upload it into the class?
I'm not sure. Elu Habeinonim, Anashim, Ataf, and Garam, Shabal, Lagur, Bakarav, Amachana. Okay, so Kol Ish Yisrael, every member of Israel, included the Garam who came to dwell in the midst of the camp. And the wood chippers were the slaves, servants. Servants is a better word than slaves. They were there to work, to build the patio, as I would give my analogy. So the Gerim, this is interesting. So here's another conclusion. Ready? The Gerim are not workers, right? They're not the Shabbos Goy worker. They are not the same as the wood chipper. The Ger, so the Ger is either a convert or Ger. We don't know yet, right? We don't know yet. Or a Chaim. Or a Chaim, second. Or a Chaim. Okay. We got a nice Or Chaim here. A real nice Or Chaim here. All right, listen to this. You'll like this. Anybody got any Pam or whoever it is, when you get the Gibeonites, go to Wikipedia if you don't mind.
I have Wikipedia. Let me see if I can upload it where you can show it in the room.
Okay, and also if you can read it to me while I'm reading here, I appreciate it.
Let me get to it here.
Wait, hold on. What are you saying there? He's getting it.
You see it?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No, that's the city. We need to know who the people were.
Well, shoot. Wait a minute. There's more pages.
No, keep going. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
They tricked Joshua.
Okay. Nothing with Moshe, huh?
I don't see anything. It says they presented themselves as ambassadors from a distant, powerful land without consulting God.
Wait, no, there it is. However, wait, hold on. Okay, that's what it is. He enslaved them as woodcutters and water carriers. That's the language Ramban's quoting, and I didn't see it. Okay, got it. Where's that verse in Joshua 9? Here, watch this.
Joshua 9, 3 through 27.
Hold on. Joshua what?
Chapter 9, verse 3 through 27.
Joshua 9. 3 through 27?
Yes.
Let's see here. We got a steep learning curve tonight, but it's going to be good. This is why no one knows the answer, because you got to really research it out. It's vast. Here we go. Look at everybody. Get your Tanakhs opened up. Joshua 9:6. Joshua went to the camp in Gilgal. They said to him and to the man of El Ish Yisrael of a distant land, they came now and they cut us a covenant. All right? And they said, Ish Yisrael, the Hittites, Ulai, Bekirviyata, Yoshev, Ein, Chabris, Emra, Yeshua, Abdecha, Nachnu, were your slaves, servants, Emra, Leim, Yoshua, Miatem, Omein, Tavo. Who are you guys? Where'd you come from? It said, from a distant land. We came from very much your slaves in the name of God and your God. We heard all that he did to you in Egypt and all that was made for the two kings of Amorites that crossed the Jordan, Sichon, the king of Heshbon and Og, Melech Bashan, that all these things they said to us, like Nenu, the elders and all the dwellers in the land, saying, take in your hands trappings for the way and go and call and say to them, your slaves we are, and now cut us a covenant. They're basically coming from far away. Hey, you guys are awesome. Now seal us a covenant. We want to know, what is that covenant? Hold on. This is our hot bread. It's taineno, so And now we're dried out. And these are Nodod, Hayayin. Okay. Or we're idolaters, basically. The people that he made for them. Here it is. Look at now 15. Joshua made peace. And he cut a covenant. The Chayotam. You guys ever hear this thing with Ger Mitzvah the Chayuso? You guys know about that? And in Dvarim 2018, now we're getting hot. 2018, you call out to a city and you call out in peace. And if they accept it, then they're Ger and they pay a tax and they take on the 7 laws. You aware of that? That's what just happened here. Joshua fulfilled 2018. Everyone look up in Dvarim 2018. Joshua just fulfilled a prophecy. And he said, I'll take care of you. So that's the covenant. Now this covenant of Joshua. That's the covenant. So the Gibeonites entered that covenant. Verstehst? That's who the Gibeonites were. They entered that covenant. Now, watch what's going to happen over here. This was made for them. Joshua made them livelihood. V'lo yeleinu ketzev al shavua asher yishben aleim v'yomer aleim anasiyim yechyu v'chodvei eitzim v'shveimayim l'kula eda. He made them wood chippers and water carriers. And they say we came from very far away land, and now we're cursed. And Joshua answered and said, Who God, Lavdecha, as Asher, Tziva, Hashem, Lahecha, as Moshe, Avdo, Lasei, Lachem, as Kul, Arts, or Shmid, as Kul, Yoshve, Arts, Mipnechem, Venir, Mio, Lenafsho, Seinu, Mipnechem, and Asa, Es, Dvarzem. Now he named Yadecha, Katov, Kashi, Kiyashar, Beinech lasot lanu asa v'yas lehem came v'yatzal otam yad b'nei Yisrael v'lo harogu. Look at 27, 10:27 in Joshua. I'm just pointing things out. Okay. So Joshua, I guess, kind of saved the day. He made peace with them by putting them to work. What does this say? Now, 1 second. We read the Rashi in this. 23 now. What's a little more now in the time? It says David. Melchama. They should be a ruin to be a vadim. The kula eda aval the base of Shem. They'll be leolam avadim. Lo yichar sadvar. So this is deep Navi here. Okay, 21. Yeah, so am I reading this correctly? I believe I am. If you can look at the English, right? Look at Joshua from 2021 through 27. Right? Is that you got there? I can't see without my glasses this far away. It sounds like Joshua's making them wood chipper. He's putting them. He's making them workers. He's making them workers. Is that what's going on here?
10.
No, 9, and then in the 20s, 9:20 some. Where are you at here?
Okay,
what is that?
That is 9.
Yeah, scroll down one more. Scroll down one more.
Bottom of the page.
Yes. Can you scroll down the next set of verses?
Yeah, hang on. There you go.
All right. The princess said to them, "Let them live." So they became hewers. Exactly. That's it. Joshua called for them and spoke to them, saying, Why have you deceived us, saying, we are very far from you when you dwell among us? Now you are cursed. There shall never fail to be slaves from you. And hewers and wonders for the house. That's it. And they answered, because it was certainly told your servants how the Lord your God commanded his servant Moses to give you all the land, destroy all the heavens and the land for you. We are very flavorful when we have done this thing. And now, behold, we are in your hand, as seems good and right to do. So this is what we did for them. We delivered them from the hand of children of Israel. Keep going. One more. Well, scroll down one more. Yeah. That's what I mean. That's it. Okay, we got it. We did it. We did it. You guys see it? You understand the Gibeon, how you call it in English? Gibeonites? You understand Gibeonites now? Gibeonites. You see it? who they were?
Yeah.
They said they were from far away. They were actually there. They understood that Moses got the land from God. They didn't want to be killed. So Joshua then made them like workers, and therefore there was mitzvah chiyuso, like a ger toshav in the land, and they lived. Understand this? 1 or 2?
Absolutely.
Okay. I know it's a crash course, but now let's go back to the Ramban. Now that we're not lying and we know who we're talking about. They came a little bit of Canaan in the days of Moshe. Right? They came in the days of Joshua. And they put upon them, okay, to be wood chippers and water bears. Okay, Inkamon Lamer. They didn't like get elevated. This was not a good ger. But they came to complete the nation. Because the judgment is found in the Midrash. The teacher, they came by Moshe, Velo Kablam. Yeah, they didn't really kosher ger out. Klomar, Shalo, Yachlu Ramosu Lachoros Lahem Bris. Exactly. Okay, but Joshua made the bris. Okay, number 1. Pam, what we've done, we understand a part of this bris is securing the land of Israel. Right? The I don't know, the wisdom or the infrastructure to complete the land of Israel. Yeah, they're controlling the land. They're securing the land. You can say that the whole Torah really is about securing the land of Israel. Now here, the Ramban's going to actually say in verse 9. I just now see it. Let's read. Yeah, they're going to say, this is a good Ramban. The reason that y'all are standing here today before God, that I'm reading the Ramban on 29:9, that y'all are standing and invited before God in order to uphold and stand in his covenant. Ki lekabel haTorah b'be'ora na'asfu alav. To accept the Torah and its explanation and congregate to it. Or they'll be standing before the ark. And the covenant is the oath. And these that are mentioned to pass over in the covenant of Shem, your God, with these. And you'll prepare to seal further, either with y'all or with the peoples, the covenant, like the covenant, the first covenant. Oh, Pam, you're loving this. This is your answer. The first covenant that was sealed for y'all at Har Sinai. I'll read that again. Pam, the answer to your question is Ramban 29:9. That's what it's looking like to me. The reason why people don't get it is they don't know what ger is. Right? So we're sealing further. Wow.
It's tied. The two are tied.
Look, at Sinai, they were far from Israel, the land.
Right.
So now at the end of 40 years, this is why it's now. They're getting ready to come in the land. That's the covenant. Well, I got a totally new appreciation for the covenant. Don't you guys?
Absolutely.
This is, you can't even say it in one go. It's like, man, the covenant is awesome. That's all I can say. It's about bringing people in. It's about getting into the land. It is the mission statement. It's the fulfillment of Torah, right? It's not about being Jewish or not, man. It's just do your job. The temple, it's it. It's amazing. Look at this. So it's furthering like the peoples and the nations in the covenant. Like the first covenant that was cut with y'all at Sinai. That we brought y'all close. Ola veleka chetzi hadam izrok ala mizbeach v'chetzi hadam zarek ala am. We took half the blood and threw it on the altar, and half the blood and threw it on the people, but we didn't need to mention this. Am I correct? Is this correct? There's 2 throwings of the blood, Pam?
Well, let's look.
Look at 24, 5 through 8.
You say,
Yeah,
24 is in Exodus.
I know it. Bring up. We want to look now at 24, 5 through 8. Let's all go there.
Yeah.
24, 5 through 8. Let's go.
On my way.
We're getting ready to crack this thing down. 24, 5 through 8. We're about to find a Torah Shem moment here. Watch this.
Let me read it.
Yeah, go ahead and read in English. I'll follow in Hebrew. Go ahead.
He sent the young men of the children of Israel.
That's Jews. Hey, those are Jewish people. Agreed?
No.
Children of Israel are Jews.
Depending on
B'nai Israel. Keep going.
Wait, can I stop right there?
Yeah.
Because something goes through me when somebody says that's the Jews.
It's vernacular for
when you in the commentary here.
Yeah.
And I know I'm just splitting hairs. It says,
am I Jewish?
Yes.
Okay, I'm B'nai Israel.
I agree. It was B'nai Israel.
Yeah.
But there's a different mindset, a different understanding. I don't know. Anyway, Onkelos.
What we're calling Jewish people today is B'nai Israel. Then I'm really
right.
It should be called B'nai Israel today. Don't get locked down on the whole Judah thing.
Okay. Anyway.
All right. So B'nai Israel, Jewish people.
Right.
Keep it loose. All right. That's who's been mentioned. No, keep reading.
Okay. Can I read you real quick what Onkelos said?
Not yet. Read the verse.
And he sent the young men of the children of Israel who offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto the Lord.
All right, that's good because how many of you guys have ever heard of Jethro? How many of you guys have ever heard of Jethro? The question of Jethro is, did Jethro bring a shlomim, a peace offering? The Jewish people, again, don't get bogged down on that, please. The Jewish people bring the shlomim, and the non-Jews bring the olah. Right? It's a law matter. I'm not trying to get deep here.
Right.
So if it's good, children of Israel, shlomim. Let's see now what they're going to say for the people, the Am. Keep going. Verse 6. Keep going.
And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half the blood he dashed against the altar.
That sounds pretty good to me. Keep going.
And he took the book of the covenant.
All right, now here's where I want to interject when I first started tonight. What is that? The book of the covenant. He took the book of the covenant. Here's where I'm going to answer Pam's question. I know we took the long route. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
Want the answer?
Yes.
The Pam asked me a week ago, whatever it was, what is the book of the covenant? You hear that? Again, what is the book of the covenant? 1 or 2?
1.
All right, now I'm gonna look. Pam. I'm looking at Unclus, and I wanted the translation of Book of the Covenant in Unclus, and it's called Sifri de Kaima. Okay, the Book of the Covenant, Sifri de Kaima. Kaima means something, a task that needs to be completed. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you what that book is, the book that needs completed. It is called the 10 Commandments. You ever hear that? Yeah. The stone tablets of the 10 Commandments. Now, here's the surprise. I just realized this second. Who wants to hear the surprise?
Go ahead.
How many of you have heard that the first set of tablets were miraculous, containing the oral law and the written law? And when Moses broke it, it lost that miraculous thing. You want to know what the miraculous thing was? Now we know. You want to know?
Sure.
They were they were the stone tablets that whatever revelation God ascribed to them, it had the bris on them. You understand this? When you saw the stone tablets, you knew, get your tuchas to Israel, do the dynamic aspect. That's why they were miraculously dynamic. The first luchas, stone tablets, are the mission statement of the covenant. Go to Israel and seal the covenant. It's the oral Torah of Shem, of the ancient world, meeting the written covenant of Moses' Torah in the new world. Ger meets Jew, ancient meets present, oral meets written. It's all Sinai, Revelation, 10 Commandments, the tablets. The actual writing it down was the book of the covenant. And that covenant, when you saw and understood the luchas, the tablets, it was a dynamic, like a homing device. Like you looked at it and you said, I got to go to Israel. You understand this? You looked at the tablets, you saw the ark, you saw the Kruvim, you see the temple. I got to get to Israel. That completes the covenant. That fulfills the covenant. We're starting to see what the covenant is now. The covenant is get to Israel. To live, I don't know, at least for the holidays. It's a thing. It's a dynamic. You're not divorced from Israel and establishing the land, building the land. It's redemption. How many of you have ever been to Mishlei on Tuesday nights? Are we to redeem or redeeming? Is it redeem or redeeming? The covenant is called redeeming. Moses' job as the Mashiach was keep the covenant redeeming. That's called dynamic. Once it's static, Moses had to die. You understand that? The Mashiach message is open redeeming. People will fall off the bandwagon. We got to keep the show going so people can come back. Eventually, when Israel is secured, Mashiach comes in the revelation of the fulfillment of the first tablets. How are you feeling, Pam?
I'm feeling pretty good.
There you go. Read now 7 and 8. Go ahead.
And he took the book of the covenant and read in the hearing of the people.
Hey, Pam, you ever hear of Vikahel where we congregate by the temple, the Gerim, to hear the Torah?
Absolutely.
What do you think the book of the covenant is? Read the Torah.
Yeah.
To who? I already know the Torah. I'm Jewish.
To all the people that assemble.
That's
and
what
all the
it
people
is.
Were required to assemble.
That's what it is.
That's also
That's why it's the people. It's the people. Evan Ezra 31:12. Why do we read the Torah? So they will yit yahed. So they will Judaize. We're not talking Jewish bagels and lox. We're talking about Torah of Moshe, Israel, the Brit, the covenant, right? The people. We're not looking to make them into Jewish converts necessarily, right? You want them Torah-dick. Keep going.
And wait. And he read in the hearing of the people, and they said, all that the Lord has spoken will we do and obey.
It has to be the Ger. Jacques was right. It cannot be the Jews. Who can tell me why? Why is it not the Jews that said Nasiv and Ishma? Who do you think read it to the Ger? Who do you think was telling the Torah over to the people? Boker Tov. Boker Tov. There's your answer. Keep going. 8.
And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold the blood of the covenant which the Lord has made with you in agreement with all these words.
There it is. There it is. So there were people there with y'all that were forever etched into that covenant.
Of words.
Wait a second. I don't care about the words. I want to know who Imachem are. Who are y'all?
The people.
We want to nail it down though. We want to nail it down in 24:8. That's our verse. Let's go. Make a little side diversion here. You identify that word, that will be your answer. Who are y'all? Oh, the suspense is tight, isn't it? What if it's people from Mars? What are we going to do then? How are we going to explain that to people on Facebook?
We're all going to have to turn green.
I know it. 24:8. And let's find out who those people are.
I personally think we could spend months on this particular chapter.
Yeah, I know. Let's find out who they are. Wait, what did I do wrong here? It's 25. 24:8. 24:8. Vayikach Moshe es Adam Yisrael al ha'am vayomer hinei dam abris asher karas Hashem imachem. Okay, so yeah, it is the people. Well, let's just double check. Hold on. Nisa Moshe Yas Dam Izrak al Midbacha Vakapara al Amma Va'amar Ha Dein Dam Kaima Digzer Hashem Imchon. All right, let's find out who it is. Anybody here? Rashi's not talking. He's not talking. Rashbam's not talking. Ibn Ezra's not talking. Ramban's not talking. Sordo's not talking. Oh, they're not talking. They don't want to go there. That's a good sign, isn't it?
Rash.
No one wants to go there. Nobody. That's a very good sign. 24:8. Let's dig a little deeper. Where are they running from? 24:8. 24:8. 24:8. 24:8. 24:8.
24:7.
Here we go. Vayikach Moshe Adam. Ze Sheris Hadam. First of all, this is the leftover of the blood. That sounds like that sounds like we're on the right trail, does it not?
Sounds like it.
Vayizrak ala am. He threw it on the people. Le kfar ala am, to atone for the am. Sounds like our people, doesn't it?
Yes.
Vayomer hine dam abris. V'zeh dam nechneset lebris. They are entering into the covenant. That sounds like our people, doesn't it?
Yes.
Im mishmarim atem abris nafshachem atem mishmarin. Uminayan sha nefesh nikras dam taksiv ki nefesh kul basar damo. Vaomer ki hadam hu hanefesh. Well, 1 second. Uminayan sha nefesh nikras dam. Okay. We're just about there. I mean, we could actually call it there, not for tonight, but I mean, in terms of the principle, we got it nailed down. I mean, really, this is tight. Let me see the midrash now. See if there's anything on this. 24:8. Yeah, I think we understand what's going on, right? God brought, let's just call it Bnei Yisrael out of Egypt, right? And we know that Gerim were there, but hold on. The point was to rally a fanfare to Sinai to gather everybody to basically bring Mashiach. And it was a covenant. And if they would have hit a critical mass, Moshe is Mashiach, and they go to Israel and build a temple, and then they complete the covenant as everybody recognizes. I think we just found Mashiach. What do you think? I'm not joking. I think we literally found how Mashiach and Gula works. What do you want to say about that, Pam?
I can't talk. My brain is pinging.
That's it. I think we found it. This is how it works. This is how you do it. This is how you bring Mashiach. No joke. No joke. It's by you fulfilling the covenant. What's the similar Shalom? The Midrash isn't going this. Let's look in the Tanchuma. Maybe he's got something funny on this. This seems to be his calling. Where did I put that? Man, we really found some good stuff here. This is not a joke. So this is why you didn't get your answer until now, Pam, because the covenant is not a static thing. It's the dynamic of Mashiach and Gula.
And it was, forgive me if I'm wrong, but according to the commentary I have in my my Torah, it says, according to Rashi, the book of the covenant included all of Genesis.
That's it.
The first half of Exodus.
That's it.
Right up through.
Now remember,
the 10 Commandments.
The 10 Commandments are not new for Sinai. It's the Torah of Shem tradition that was ratified at Sinai through the covenant.
Exactly.
Shem didn't have the covenant. Shem was creating what would become the covenant.
Exactly.
At Sinai, it becomes the covenant. So Shem and the Torah of Shem is there to be the rally card that will draw children of Israel and the people to seal and fulfill the covenant. Shem's job was to, pun intended, etch in stone the covenant.
To get it to that point.
Abraham's job was to spread the covenant. So God brought him into a covenant. And Abraham was to become Mashiach. He didn't do it. But he created the beginnings of the nations that would eventually stand at Sinai and fulfill the covenant. He had a son, and they all attracted Gerim. They were doing what? The covenant. I'm going to make up my own word now. They were how do you say this? Covenanting. Someone type that. I can't even say it. Covenanting. They were covenanting. They were covenanting the covenant. That's what the forefathers were doing. They were covenanting. And in Egypt, right, the story goes that they were enslaved and it was horrible. It was. But you know what they were doing? They were covenanting. Because the people in Egypt were becoming heir to the covenant. Because the Levites had a tradition. God is gonna bring out this conglomerate, Erev Rav, stand at Sinai for the sake of the covenant.
Well, they were teaching the Torah of Shem in Egypt.
100%. Because there's going to be a time of the covenant.
Right.
And people are probably saying, hey, Bob, do you believe in the covenant? Yeah, I believe. I like the Torah of Shem. Do you think God will do it? Will he make the covenant? I believe he will. And one day, it was time for the covenant. So, as King David says to King Solomon, lest the laborers labor in vain. Okay? We know that there is a covenant and a Torah of Shem. So can we say that today God is covenanting? Are we covenanting right now?
Yes.
Right now.
Absolutely.
We're covenanting. We are the people of the covenant. Might as well talk to you. We are covenanting. Our job is to covenant and make sure that the covenant happens.
And assume our individual responsibility.
That's it. Because if there's no ger, no covenant. It's not called Jewing. It's called covenanting. If it was Jewing, then you should all convert. But that was not the covenant. You don't attract people by lox and bagels. It doesn't work. Right? We need people to covenant. If there's only Jews, there's no covenant. That's called static. That's what they tried in the desert, and they got punished. It's called the spies. It doesnit work. It just doesn't work.
The nation of Israel that God created included four houses, included ger.
And why? For the sake of marriage and everything else. It's so ingrained, it has to be.
It just makes it complete.
That's it. That's what it is.
And ultimately, eventually, the whole world will embrace the covenant.
So, therefore, you can wait till the end of time, or you can covenant.
Could, but it'd be easier to get started now.
That's it. and converting to Judaism does not satisfy the covenant.
No.
It might satisfy your desire for lox and bagels. I'm aware of that. It does not satisfy the covenant. Meaning, if we all convert to Judaism, right? I want you all to convert to Judaism, okay? That's great. We can have bagels and logs, but guess what? We did not seal the covenant.
Absolutely
we did not do it.
Not, because who would Israel be? A nation of or a kingdom of priests too.
That's right. So now let's go back to the Ramban, the covenant, Sinai, the blood. I think we saw half the blood went to Bnei Israel, the other half went to the people.
Right.
While Derek Emes, we already told you that the covenant, Ramban, where you going, and where'd he go?
Moses took
this covenant. So now, let's just get caught up to speed. So they messed up at Sinai. We know they did. Golden calf didn't work.
Right.
Now we're going to enter the land again, and God rallied the troops again. He's saying, "You see how y'all are today? This is what the covenant's going to look like." But it's the second Luchas, meaning your banner here today. No one knows what's going on. This is just you and 5 of your friends, and now you got to go out and parade the message. God said, "I would have been Mashiach for you with the first tablets. You blew it." Everyone would have said, "Man, God is Mashiach." It's, he's bringing everybody. Now it's 3 guys, and they're saying, "Hey, we got to go and do this." And why do I say 3 guys? It's Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Figuratively. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
They had the same message, the sons of Noah, to do the covenant. And they realized they got a big task. So Noah gave blessings that ensured that the covenant would happen one day. Now we got to go into Israel and make this happen. Joshua's saying, I got a big job to do. Moshe's gone. Let's do it. Let's start working on the Canaanites. So he did a little bit, but they didn't have the blessings from God that they would have had at Sinai, right? The homing device, the beacon, the light to nations. They didn't have the blessing of light to nations. So by the time David came, he understood the covenant. And he speaks about it a lot in his Psalms. And David was about good enough to be the Mashiach beacon light. But God said, no, I'm not going to make you the light. Isn't that can you imagine how David felt? God said, you're the guy, but you're not the guy yet. I'm going to bring you back in the end of days. Can you imagine that? He simply, God, look at this. How many of you listen to my Simcha Minute? How many of you listen to my Simcha Minute? Here's what the next Simcha Minute's going to be. I haven't done it yet. Ready? Welcome to today's Simcha Minute, a daily Dvar Torah in the name of Rabbi Avigdor Miller. Sometimes Hashem decides that despite all of a man's efforts, they will be useless and his desires will be frustrated. Then the desired result will not be carried out. The degree to which a man's efforts succeed depends only on the decree of Hashem. But the efforts themselves are the tests by which a man shows whether or not he succeeds as a servant of Hashem. Thank you for listening. Be well. Did you caught this? David did the test, but God said no. Success is not your privilege. Your privilege and right is to just do it. But God promised David, all of us should do it in the end of days. I want Solomon to do it. Let's see if Solomon can do it. Solomon's like, but my dad did it. David's like, but I did it. God's like, but I want Solomon to do it. Solomon says, I'll tell you what, I'll write all about my dad in 3 books, and that's like I did it. God said, hey, Solomon ben David, that's fantastic. But you cheated, and it didn't work, and you didn't do it. But you made it a lot easier for your dad when he comes back. Right? The spirit of David, it's a verse in Ezekiel. I will raise up another David in that time. Thanks, Solomon. Kol tuv, So then the monarchy was lost, and we have not had a leader since David. Right? They say two good leaders rose for Israel, Moses and David. The point is that the light to nations will be given in the end of days, in the messianic end. And then that is the fulfillment of the covenant. So Mashiach is a fantasy and a fairy tale. Everyone knows that. It's a mythology. What is the real truth? That there's a covenant, and the covenant was meant to be completed. Just like there's no such thing as ger. There's 4th house of Israel ger for marriage, 1 or 2. Right? There's no such thing as ger for pragmatic purposes. Pragmatic, practical purposes. There's no mythological Mashiach. Right? You got to be able to look at it for what it is. At least if no pasuk goes out by its allegorical. You got to take it for what it is. Right? You know, Eric Bryan, you're such an amazing ger and a spiritual ger. You know what people see when they see you, Eric? They see Eric. I don't care how spiritual you claim you are. You're just some guy named Eric to 99.9% of the world. Yeah, and I'm just Dave Katz, right? We're all just who we are. You can believe the hype and the myth about yourself, but that's your ego. You're not that great. But you are, but you're not. But you are, but you're not. But the real thing is, if it's 1A, 1B, when Eric goes to a bank, he doesn't kick the door up and say, I'm a ger. I deserve to be here. Right? We have to discover the explaining that Eric is a ger, right? We have to sit down with him at the bank and let him go through the explaining how it happens. Then it's called bonding and a soul bonding. Then we say, oh yeah, I found a ger today, right? That's how it has to be. You're not just exposed. So Mashiach, as we know it now, there's no such thing as Yeshu coming from the clouds with a harp. Like even the Jews want to believe. Not Yeshu literally, but some kind of fantastic, oh, because it never was. That was never what it was. Moshe was to be Mashiach, 1 or 2. Sinai and Moshe was supposed to be it and do it. So how was Moshe going to do it? Light to nations. Now, they needed Hashem's blessing to do it. That's right. Enter the land. Just get there. Bring people in. We'll do the 3rd temple later. Don't worry. It'll get awesome. Michael will come with his harp. Don't you worry. We'll get the harp. First, do the covenant. Right? Reuben wants cookies. Get the dustbuster. Get your stuff off the floor. You'll get your cookies. Don't you worry. We'll have the TV shows and cookies. All right. Let's see if we can find the commentaries just to spice things up. I think we got it, though. Pam, how you feel?
Awesome.
All right. That's good. We solved a lot of stuff here. We got it all, actually. We did all the commentaries. I'm just trying to think what books have I not looked at. Yeah, I want to go in the Sifri. That's where I've not gone yet. Hold on a second. I'm going to put some books away. Oh, yeah, Rashi didn't really come through for us. This was not a Rashi thing. Rashi didn't do really too much for this. This was a Ramban day. How are you guys feeling? I know it was a little bit of a chaotic episode today, but you guys feeling good?
I think it's pretty significant that Rashi did say what the Book of the Covenant was.
Oh yeah, that was huge.
That's huge for me.
He took us to the answer, but he didn't give us the answer.
Right.
What is this?
But that's huge because it gives us a panoramic.
Oh yeah.
Because one of
the covenant is something special. I'll tell you that.
One of
the covenant is something.
One covenant never negates the one that happened before it.
Well, the thing it's the one covenant. It's one covenant.
Right.
It's called do the job. Here, wait a minute. We got some Vilna Gaon. Who wants to hear Vilna Gaon? That's always a good day. That's always a good day when you get the Vilna Gaon in this. I figured he would.
Is this on Exodus 24?
No, 29:10 Varm. So it's the ger and the blah blah blah. Haim hachamisha hasarim the mashmata mashel hachamisha manhigim. Hamisha hasarim. What is that? What is he talking about? He's saying it's like 5 like spiritual leaders. Taf, women, ger. There's 2910. There's 5 types there. Count them. You'll see. There's 5.
It would have to be 9 and 10.
No, 10. The taf, the women, the ger, wood, water. That's 5.
Oh.
5 sarim. Sarim's like a minister. The 5 types of leaders. So that means there is Bnei Yisrael and 5 types of people that have to come to the covenant. You ready for who they are?
Sure.
Women, servants, ger, that's 3. And the water and the taf, that's what are they? That's the question. What's the difference between a wood chipper and a water bearer? Probably servants, slaves, ger, women. Pam, how do you translate taf?
I have no clue.
What?
I have no clue.
Where are we at? Can you bring up 20? Where's my article? I want to see how they translate taf. 2910. Now we're getting really deep here. Oh, this is nuts. 2910. Oh, small children. So these are who have to come to the covenant. Children, women, ger, wood, and water. Slaves, servants, or workers, women, ger, and kids. You know what that's called in realistic terms? People of the household. Who said the 5th house? Whoever said that was right. That's really what it is. The 4th. We always said the 4th house. That's what it is. That's what it is. Well, got it. What did I say the first thing with the Baltorum? The women are close to the ger. Remember that?
Right.
About marriage. So what he's saying is that you're going to get all kinds of crazy combos, right? Gerim are going to marry servants or slaves, right? Bob married Jane. They're going to have kids. Those kids are going to have results in their bloodline. Okay? So you have women, kids, ger, workers, and slaves. That is the 4th house of Israel. You get it? It's life. Not everybody is a Jew holding by Kohanic bloodline. And it's okay. If Jill marries Jack, it is okay. The question that you have to know is what happens next. And the Torah says you need the wisdom to know, and that's okay. It's called the covenant. We don't care what happened. As long as you're happy and you got married and you're doing Tree of Life, come to Sinai. Come to the covenant. If you're there, you say, well, I don't know what I am. I must be a secret lost Jew because I don't know what I am. No, that's your Yetzer Hara. Come anyways, and that will bring Mashiach. That will bring Eliyahu, and we'll sort it out. What's the proof? We will do, and we will listen. Not we will listen, and then we will do. So it's the Ger 4th house that needs that message the most. Now it makes sense. The 4th house of Israel. How you feeling, Pam?
Awesome.
Now it makes sense. Things happen. Okay? People meet. Things happen. And what God is saying is, I understand he's saying things happen. Okay? There is such a thing as like the holiness of the Kohen, but I created 4 houses, not 1. 4 houses, not 1. Because people have different jobs and rules and things. There's a nation of priests and a nation to be a priest to. I don't care who you are, just get to Sinai.
And this shows that God has always included a way for people to become his people and him their God without conversion.
That's it. That's it.
Just embrace the covenant and make a commitment to it, and you keep your part.
That's it. You be you, and God takes care of you. It's that simple.
And you don't make anybody else break theirs.
That's it.
Exactly.
The Malbim wants to say that the ger or Gary Hatzedek, v'af shetamid haya mekoma mekara v'shvatim avol b'mamin hazeh amdu. And I just got done researching yesterday Gary Hatzedek. It can be convert, it can be ger, it can be the slave, it can be the servant. Gary Hatzedek. Everybody will read that as convert. And you know what? Not one of them knows what they're talking about. I hate to say it that way, but it's true. I can show you the printouts. I printed out to show it. Gary Hatzedek. In fact, James and I worked out Gary Hatzedek are the non-Jewish convert, non-convert ger. It's the same ger of the Shemona Esrei. It's the ger who is interested in wisdom. For those that know the code. That's awesome. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Erev Rav is a bad connotation, correct? Erev Rav, So I guess the Gerim are bad people. No. There's a priestly sect of Erev Rav, a non-Jew that learns Torah like a Kohen Gadol. What's he called? Gary Hatzedek. There are Gerim mixed into the Erev Rav just because that's how God made it. Their job is to separate and really attach to Israel in the holiest way through Torah, and that is the Ger Hatzedek. All right? And we know that they're not the Gibeonites. That's the Ger like the Canaanites. So there's slave Ger. That's what this is. Slave Ger, worker Ger, holy awesome Ger, women Ger, and kid Ger. Why are women Gerim? A slave that takes on female mitzvahs. Women are naturally ger. Kids, I have 2 kids, they are ger. They just are. They just are. So it's the kids, the women, and the ger, and then it goes into the worker and the slave. And you know what? We see a Noahide movement today. People want to be slaves. Why? I don't know. Go figure.
When you understand it the way it really happened,
that's it.
The beauty of it just gets deeper.
That's it. It's not shackles and slaves, shackles and chains slave, right? It's not. It's a bad word, any American, whatever. What it is really you absorb into Judaism. You're not Jewish. You're a goy akum, and you're a Shabbos goy, and you love it. And we all know those people that love it. I wouldn't love it, but there are people that love it. We all know who they are. We all know them.
Yep.
Then there's the worker, right? I live in Israel. I see workers all the time. I love the Jewish people, right? If I can help out, and it's the soul's job. How do you want to attach to Israel? If that's not for you, then be ger. Very simple, and you have that right and that liberty. And you see, people can choose. And God says it's all right. I'll take care of you no matter what.
What is Zohar 104b?
And remember, the servitude, so to speak, it comes with a mitzvah chiyuso. The Jew has a mitzvah to sustain. And I know people on both sides of the fence that want that. That's fine. Look, America's no different with its system of taking care of people, right? Is socialism any different? I mean, seriously, is socialism any different in any country? So the Torah says, if you want socialism, we got socialism. You want capitalism, we got capitalism. You want communism, we got communism. That's it. I didn't want to say it, but you said it. You said it. That's his decision. And I had him in mind, I didn't want to say it for the recording, okay? But that's what it is. He made his decision, and James and I talked about it. He made his decision, and it's fine. I've accepted it. James has accepted it. And you know what? If that's what makes him happy, I support it. I mean that. But my beef is, don't call the Jameses and the Lars and Erics servants or slaves, because they're not. Right? Don't say, you must be like me. No. I'm Jewish. You should be like me. No. Right? I mean, just be you. Be you. That's the only fight that really still exists.
But that's what we've been trying for years, is to find where we fit. Where do we plug in?
Exactly. And there's a lot of Noahides that want to be, this level that we're talking about. That is fine. But don't say Gentile is Gentile is Gentile. It's not. It's not at all.
Not if you're looking at this without blind.
Right. Look at this. All women are the same too. Really? All kids are the same too, aren't they? All idiot kids. Really? Did you ever talk to a kid to find out? All different. It's only when they get older, we beat it out of them, their individuality, they become, automatons of society. The fact is, kids are amazing. Each one is different. Women, each one is different. That's why women are special.
That's
right?
Why
Men, huh?
That's why it's important to remember that each person assumed individual responsibility for their part.
That's it. And that's what the Ramban or whoever it was I saw said. Remember? Each one could have been an individual, but they're represented by the group. Okay? Even though every woman is an individual, she represents the race of people called women. Right? There are something called little people, kids. Each one is different, but guess what? Every 7-year-old in Israel sounds like Reuven, but yet each one's different. Every Ger is all the same. They're all called Ger. Right? Eric Bryan is Ross Bearden, the same guy. But really, get up close, radically different. Everyone's unique. So too with the servant worker and the slave. Right? Oh, a bunch of slaves. Really? Try to get to know people. It loses that ickiness when you get to the individuality. Otherwise, all kids are nasty and disgusting and dirty and grimy, right? But when you get over that and kids are just kids, they become the life and joy of the world, right? I remember when I first was working at a daycare when I was a teenager. It was like, how's it going to be with these kids? Everyone just, running around sweaty and spilling their drinks everywhere. But when you get into it, every kid is a little universe, a little unique universe. And that's the idea. You can identify the group and still be unique and an individual.
God requires.
That's the covenant. Huh?
God requires it.
That's it.
Otherwise, we could let other people stand up for us and say, well, I told him so. It's incumbent on us to learn our own part.
And look, we know society comes with a type of caste system, right? Some people will be rich. Some people will be poor. What was it last week we did, right? There are Ger that are rich. There are Ger that are poor, right? Why am I poor? Why? Because God made you that way. Why am I rich? Because God made you that way. Why am I less attractive? God made you that way. Why am I super attractive? God made you that way. Why am I tall? Why am I short?
It's all for a reason.
That's it. This is really a lesson of Mazel, right? The people that have a slave mentality or servant mentality or low mentality or vulgar mentality, what is it really? That's their Mazel. You don't have the right to judge them. They don't have the right to judge you. What is the essence of Mazel? If you don't like your Mazel, change your Mazel. How do you change your Mazel? Daven and pray and learn and get merit. If you don't like the way you're standing with God, change your Mazel. What do we say? Ein Mazel Yisrael, Yesh Mazel Yisrael. There is and there isn't. How's it a contradiction? Or is it not? Everybody has Mazel. The question is, can you change your muzzle? How many of you guys heard my Artie Lewis show on that? Remember that? Can you change your muzzle? The answer is yes, but it's very hard. Very hard. But you can do it.
It takes work.
It takes work. You want to be Jewish? Great. You want to not be Jewish? Go to be a light to nations. Right? You'll figure out what ger is, and you'll be liberated from whatever you're running away from, so to speak. Right? Everybody that knows me, I'm not a traditional Jew in that. I mean, I am, but working with ger is a whole other world. But it's like that again. Is you're a Jew this way? Okay, go be a shochet. I'm sure shechting cows all day will change your life. Change a mazel, change a place, change a mazel. I think we got it pretty good. Better than anticipated. What do you think, Pam?
I think it's awesome. Thank you very much. I think we could do several more sessions.
We got the kishkas of it. I mean, it's opened up. Let me see if I got any more books here. I got a couple. Let me see what's mine. I'm surprised. I was not expecting this. Now do you understand what I meant when I said we have no idea what we're doing? Who could have planned for this? Honestly. What person in the world could be like, yeah, I know it. Yeah, of course. I know it. No, you don't.
No, you just think you know what you know until you find out you don't.
That's it.
We've been studying Torah. I mean, we've been studying with rabbis since 1997.
Yeah.
And just last week, this fell out of the sky.
That's it.
Who'd have thought?
That's it. You can't sit back and just claim, I learned it 10 years ago, Pam, and let me just remember what I remembered. Right, really?
No, you never quit learning, and the more you learn, the more you find out you need to go back and look again.
That's it.
You never know.
I'm still looking stuff up. Hold on. I want to see if there's just any more loose ends we can tie up.
Lars is making notes in the...
Oh, here we go. Now we're talking. Hold on a second. Now we're
write it down.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. That's good stuff right there. That's good stuff right there. Creases and uniforms. Guess what I just found?
What?
Anybody want to take a guess what I just found? Watch this.
Something.
Oh, yeah. How many of you ever heard me quote Creases 9a?
I have heard it.
The Ger Shabbat. They're quoting it here. Hold on a second. This could be exciting. 8. There it is. Okay. Well, this could be profound. This might be really profound. Hold on.
Fastening seatbelts.
All right, so the convert is real. The convert is doing like the Bnei Israel did. That's a fact. There are converts. We have secured there is such a thing as converts.
Right.
Okay. Now, a convert founded the bris, right? God brought Bnei Israel to Sinai and said, y'all converted, y'all found the bris, okay? And anybody that converts will essentially is proven to have found the bris. You can't say a convert didn't, right? Even if their intentions aren't good.
Right.
They found the bris. Look, no one says, I thought it was a Malek. How did I get here, right? Rabbi Omer kachem kavasechem ma avasechem lo nichnasu labris ela b'mila utvila. But here it says dam. So how do you become a Jew? With mila, circumcision, dunking, and the Jewish blood. How many bloods were there, Pam?
70.
2. The 2 throwings of the bloods, remember?
2, okay.
So what makes you a Jew is a circumcision, dunking, and Jewish blood. Af heim lo yichnasu labris ella b'mila tvila v'hirtzes damin. Lahavi freda achas. Iyashar shalom matzina b'kula Torah kula. Okay. That's interesting. So that there is such a thing as conversion. It is a real thing. And that's how you do it. Now, lo amru kan ella laha, and that's how you enter the covenant. That's how they entered the covenant as a Jew. There's something called a Jew, right? Israel, Levi, Cohen. That's how they entered. Velo v'tanya v'krivu matam lamar lafi shenemar b'toirim v'akrivu okay da shalom. How you doing? Okay, now. So the Ika Kivish Behina Amar Mar Ma V'Seichim Lo Nichnasu L'Bris Ela B'Shlama Mila D'Si Ki Moilim Hayu Kol Ha'am Hayotzim. So everybody got circumcision. And that makes total sense, doesn't it? Even the ger. Right? A ger that takes part of the Passover offering gets circumcised.
Right.
And James and I learned today, a ger taking on mitzvahs, if he gets circumcised, he is the ger of Rambam 8, 11, and 10, where it's like, this one, a Noahide who took on the Torah, like Moses, you know that, right?
Right.
So if you don't want to go the Noahide route, you can go the circumcision route. Last I remember, didn't they leave Egypt in haste?
Yes.
Therefore, we don't got time to sit here and explain the Torah. So they got circumcised. But maybe not, he says. That's one option. Inami mahacha. I will pass over you and show you. This is verses. Verse Ezekiel 16:6. Let's read Ezekiel 16:6. And this could be the two ways. There are those that got circumcised and those that didn't. The ones that took the Rambam route, right? By learning to be a Noahide, so to speak. Let's see if it's true. 16:6. Then I passed you and saw you wallowing in your blood, and I said to you, in your blood shall you live. I said to you, in your blood shall you live. So you see that? Sprinkling the blood like the Rambam way, or circumcision. See how it's both?
So it was either by sacrifice or sacrifice one way or the other, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah. So throwing the blood, as it's written, Vayishlach Nari B'nai Yisrael. Right. You either entered in three ways. You get as a Jew, convert, or a Jew. Ma'inalan D'Ksiv V'Yikach Moshe Chetzi Adam Yisrok Al Ha'am Ein Hazah Below Tevila Ela Miat Adina Deleka Carbon Lo Nikbal Gerim Ein Hazah. There's no sprinkling without dunking. So that's to become a convert into the covenant. Ela Miat Adina Deleka Carbon Lo Nikbal Gerim. But see, you're not a convert unless you give an offering. Amar Rav Acha Bar Yaakov, V'ki yigor echem ger asher b'tochem ger b'zman hazeh srik yifrish roveya lakina. Okay.
So there'd be different kinds of offerings to enter into the
that's right.
covenant.
That's it. And then where did I say that thing was 8? Now, why am I not there? What happened? There it is. Vayikach Moshe. Okay. Okay, so Creasus 9a is dealing with this covenant. So there's converts, there's Jews, there's Gerim that have circumcision, like James and I were talking about, and there's your Noahide. So there's many ways. You hear what's going on here? There's many ways of entering the covenant. You see that? Many kinds of people in many ways.
So it sounds like there's more than one way to enter into the covenant.
That's it. And it's only done when there's a temple to give the final offering to. So then the Talmud says, Ger Toshav who keeps Shabbos. Because, well, that's a good question. Why? Why would it bring the Ger Shabbos in now? I think you got to know. Now you got a covenant, people are here. And Shabbos is really, that means you're in the covenant. That's the covenant. How many of you ever read Isaiah 56?
Yeah.
Isaiah 56. There's your covenant right there. And it's Shabbos. Shabbos is the covenant.
The sign of the covenant. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you know someone is keeping the covenant? They're keeping Shabbos. However, they're meant to do it.
Uh-huh. Also in different ways.
All different ways. And if you're going to deny the covenant of Shabbos, then you're denying the covenant, and you're basically saying Mashiach can't come. 46:2. Man, this is a whole new look at Judaism, I'll tell you that.
It's clearly defining the different levels of commitment, or I guess a case system would work in that.
Right. Well, people have to, it's because of Mazel. Not everyone's going to yeshiva. Not everyone's getting married to this person.
Be honest. They can be honest about where they were rather than trying to.
That's what God wants. Cain, sin visits you at the footstep, whatever it's called, right? Doorstep. Just admit your sin. Admit what you did. You know, my mom cheated on my dad, married this other dude, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm a funny kind of case. Sue me. You know, I made a sin. I cheated on this one. I did that one.
God.
Things happen. Huh?
And I'm here loving God.
That's it. People make mistakes. What do you want to do? Eternal condemnation? Do tshuva, repent. Some things are less forgiven than others. It doesn't mean you're not part of the covenant. That's the whole point. Okay? And your great-grandparents may have done something. That doesn't mean you're guilty. Now, you suffer the lineage issue. Fine. Fine. That's your mazel. There are people out there for you. And just enter the covenant. Your question isn't with God and the sins of your grandparents. It's why did God create you the way you did, the way you are? That's your question. And everyone I know in this world, in the gear, tells me the same thing. It's not a question of I should be a Jew. It's why did God, you know who you are. I'm talking to you right now. Why did you create me the way you did? Type 1. No, don't type 1. Sorry about that. Anyways, do you know who you are? You know?
I'll let it fit that one, I think.
Vayikach Moshe Adam Yisrael Am V'Gemiri the Ein Hazam Below Tevila. Rabbi Yeshua Tevila almost. Okay, we got that. So that's all right. So here's Asher Meza's thing, right? Here you go. Here's the 12 months thing. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Rabbi, I wanna enter the covenant, right? Okay, you can enter. What do I do, Rabbi? Well, how do you want to enter? I want to be a Jew. I feel I'm a Jew. Okay, you want to be a Jew. What do I got to do, Rabbi? Circumcision, mikvah, and like the blood thing, right? 3 things.
Right.
Okay, Rabbi, I'll do it. Great. Can't wait to see you on the other side. 12 months later, hey, Bob, did you do it? Nah, I didn't do the circumcision and dunking, man. Why not, Bob? Well, it just kind of got rough and blah, blah. But Rabbi, I'm a Ger Toshav now, right? No, you're actually an Akum. You've achieved nothing and you have not entered the covenant. Now do you understand the Rosh Mesa source? A Ger Toshav that waits 12 months without circumcision and mikvah, right, is rendered an idolater, a heretic idolater, 1 or 2. Now you know what it means. You were scamming, okay, and you said you were What was it? You said, sorry, just reading something. You said you were going to convert, and then you found a loophole that if you didn't, you would now be a ger toshav. The fact is, you're a liar, you're an idolater, you're a heretic, because you're using Torah for corruption, and you're still an akum goy. Meaning, it's a rude way of saying you try to enter the covenant the wrong way, and you used private channels to do so. You are not part of the covenant. It's God's way of saying you're not part of the covenant until you are part of the covenant. If you want to be part of the covenant, you need to enter the covenant in the right way to enter the covenant. You cannot cheat the Torah. If you're going to enter the covenant, then you better enter the right way. But I hate myself, and I don't want to be me. That's fine. That's your issue. You're not coming in until you deal with your issues. You need to accept yourself and your identity, and then mazel tov for the covenant, but come in the right way. Don't say you're going to convert, then not convert. Now you're all of a sudden a ger toshav. No, you're not. If you want to not lie about it and say you're a ger because you love ger, that's great. All right, that's that. All right, I think we're done. How's that for Fourth House of Israel and everything else under the sun?
Now, what about people who may have made a commitment to convert only because they were felt like they were forced into it, and then they didn't ultimately?
So that's the thing. Once you enter the covenant, you are in, and there you can convert even the most insincere way possible, and you did convert. That's the thing. That's why conversion is a one-way street. Because once you enter the covenant, you're in.
But that's what I'm saying. What about those who made the pledge to convert but then didn't follow through because they realized that's not, they wanted to be ger.
But they already converted. That's the thing. Once you convert, you're in the covenant. It's, for example, Pam, you and I went to dinner. Remember that?
Right.
I got the good chicken sandwich. You got the steak sandwich. Remember that?
Right.
You saw mine and you hated yours. Remember that?
Right.
Guess what you're eating? You're getting the sandwich that you ordered.
Right.
And you're saying, why didn't I order the chicken? Because you didn't.
That wasn't my question.
Yeah, it is.
No. If somebody goes and they talk to a bet din and they say, we agree to go through the conversion process, but then they don't complete the conversion process.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So be ger.
Then they're ger without condemnation?
Yeah, because the other guy, he made a pledge. I hear you saying. You mean
he may have thought one thing and
no, because the other the guy we're talking about, no, he is corrupt in every way. Okay. He was ready for the mikvah. Okay, they said, you're doing this, right? And he said, yeah. They said, okay, we're giving you 12 months to do it. And he didn't do it. And then he said, by the way, I'm ger toshav now.
As see? Excuse.
Yeah, total excuse. So now I'm saying you're not convert, you're not ger, you didn't do anything. All you did was waste my time. Now he can do tshuva, right? He says, you know what? Let's start up. I want to be ger. So he's probably going to go back and just like on Yom Kippur undo his oaths. You know, he's got work to do. He's buried him. It's like the cops came and asked him a question, and and he lied to the cops. So now he's got to be brought in for questioning. Lars, what's up with this? What's there? What do you want me to look up? What's the topic? Okay, so let me see. Zohar 3. Wait 1 second. Oh, Zohar 3, 125b, 126. Zohar 3, 126.
Well, he's looking that up. I think, Oliver, what we determined, I think what he said was that there are different types of ger, one of which would be circumcised. The other one might just bring an offering without circumcision.
Yeah, there's something called Ksat Geras and Geras. Complete conversion and partial. All right, the Ger movement that I work with is called Ksat Geras. It's a type of conversion, but not. And then there's also Ksat Geras, partial convert through circumcision or through the Noahide law development. Through 125B, 126.
Well, you have to take it on an individual basis because there's so many different scenarios.
100%. 125B. Lars, do you have a Mishnah number?
I think Shavuos this year is going to take on all the significance.
Well, this is kind of cool. Way to go, Lars. I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but I found something pretty good.
Share it.
Let's see. Where does it start? So this is the Erev Rav or the Ame Haaretz. That makes sense. Eric, you probably like that, right? Why are people the S word? Workers and slaves, right? The answer is they're Ame Haaretz. They just don't get Torah. They're avadim mechuri. They're slaves or servants sold to Israel because they're like animals. Not literally. You hear what I'm saying? They're not swift in Torah. Bless their heart. Okay? In wrestling, in the wrestling room, was it any different? Right? There were the elite athletes, and then there were the kids that were like, why are you here? One or two. You guys know these people? Everybody has it. At the restaurant, we all worked, and they're all, working hard. There's the one guy that's just like not with the program. Right? So there are people. Yeah, that's it. That's it. There are people in this world that are not with the program, but yet they are with the program. I remember in wrestling, there are kids. It's like, why are you here? Like the kid I remember kids like with like heart transplant stuff. You know what I mean? That kid. I mean, he can barely breathe, and he's trying to go for the wrestling team.
Oh my!
And you know what I'm saying? It's like it's a nebuch, but they're trying their best. I mean, I just saw on my wrestling website a Down syndrome kid, right? Went out for the team. It was one match, and like the all-state wrestler took the loss so the kid would win. I mean, you see what I'm saying? I'm dramatizing this a little bit. It's a true story, but not everybody's meant to be the champion, and it doesn't mean you can't play or participate because you're not Kobe Bryant. You know, it's another fact of life. Not everybody in the team is the superstar, and they don't have to be. And they don't have to apologize to you. You know, and you know who carry, for the sake of the analogy, Eric will answer, right? Who's carrying the water bottles for the wrestling team in this dramatized thing? Right? It's him. The kid who's messed up. The kid who's not going to be the star. Rudy. It's Rudy. The guy is just there and happy to be there and carry the water bottles and the towels and get the champion guys ready to go. The real question is, why did God make people want to be the bench warmer? Why do you want to be a bench warmer? Why do you want to be on a team when you never see the light of day? I'll tell you why. Mazel. And you know what I would do to go back and be in a wrestling room? Now understanding my fate and my mazel, when I watch like the Ohio State wrestling videos, what I would do to just be in that room, fellowship, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Some people just want to be around the Jews in the synagogue and just fellowship. So, do they make them on Shabbos? Yeah, they okay. But the messed up kid also carries the water bottles. What's your point? You don't think that I wouldn't mind, not literally, okay, but you don't think I wouldn't mind being a water boy for the part of the team? Better believe I would. Better believe it. All right. So, and people that get it are called Adam. This is a Zohar. And these are the Ame Aretz, Shehem Tovim Metzada Tov. Adam, Atem, Aina Talmidei Chachamim. E mikra romez ni na. Lars, I don't so much see the sprinkling, but I will read this. Erev Rav, they have it said of them, and the nation saw, and they stood from far. Thus they were far from the redemption, and they saw the scholars and the holy nation and all this glory, and they were very distant from them. Now, do you understand now why people are Erev Rav and the not too bright? There are people close to the action, and there are those far away. Who are you to say someone is good or bad for being far away? And if they wanted to join with them, what was written about it was Lo tigabo yad, a hand didn't reach it, ki yisakol yisakel, o yira v'yira. Bizman ahu niskayim behem b'Yisrael. Shem, I'm just checking this out. There's a verse they're quoting here. What verse is that? 1 second. What verse is that? What verse is that? 3. Shem 19. Look at Jethro. He has chapter 19. He's quoting Jethro chapter 19. And this Bisman Ahu Niskayim Behem Yisrael Hashem Boded Yinachu Ve'ein Amo El Necher Ukvar Ameduhu Ein Makablan Gerim. We don't receive Gerim in the times of Mashiach, and the Rishonim, evil people in darkness, are likened to, and these are the Erev Rav, and because of this, Amar Hanavi, the prophet says on them, El Admas Yisrael Lo Yavo, to the land of Israel you will not go. And said Eliyahu, this time that we went up to above to bring the redemption, the complete redemption. Amor Atah Elai B'Shavuah, you said to me with an oath that I swore to hasten the redemption. Because of you, I want to go up. Since God gave me permission to reveal to you in your jail, in your grave, to make with your nation good, since you, Mecholel Ma'onot, you forgive the sins of the people. Just like in the jail, their offspring, you forgive their transgression. So the whole idea here is to get into. 1 second. There's a whole thing about the Erev Rav. Just the Erev Rav are far away. They're not interested in the covenant. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. The Erev Rav are anti-covenant. They're anti-covenant. They're far away, and they don't realize that there's a covenant. They're like blind to the covenant, and they mess it up. You know, it says they make the Torah scholars stink, the wisdom. And we of the covenant, we want to bring redemption close. They want to keep it far away. Right? So, Chachmas Chachamim Tisrach. They make Torah scholarship foul. And so the people of Jethro, like the men of valor and might, they were the ones really anti-Erev Rav. They're the ones that structure against it. And these Erev Rav, they are rich, they have comfort, they have joy, they're without problems, they don't work. They steal a little bit, and they're the judges of the heads of the people. The nation is filled with thievery because of them. They give us a rough time. They really just don't get the covenant. Eric, you and I on the same page? Yeah, they're just not getting it. I think that's all for that topic. Lars, I didn't see anything about sprinkling blood. I mean, I kind of did because it's the air of Rav there. Are you sure it mentions it literally? The sprinkling of the blood? 25.
I think he gave you a page number.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
354.
No, it's in the different. It's 125. Yeah, 126A. 126A. Oh, so you told me 125B. Hold on. I'm not seeing it. I mean, it's kind of related. Is it a big deal? I mean, it's not. Nothing's jumping out like, hey, look at this. When it comes to that, it was yeah. I don't see any blatant mentionings. I think that's about it.
Well, he put the blood in the basin.
Yeah, I don't see anything mentioning that here. I'm looking further a little bit. Hold on. Sorry, Lars. Not happening. It's not here. I don't know. Not. Could be the numbering system is different. I don't know. This is the standard thing, but I don't know. Wait a minute. Hold on. What is that? What is that? Lars, are you sure about that number? I'm starting to get a little sensitive over here. I was seeing it maybe coming up. Are you positive?
He said he put it on Facebook. We're at on Facebook.
Oh, I think this is it. I'm gonna not if you bring it if you find it, we'll try another time. It's too tired and it's not, I'm not finding it. All right, gang. How we do? Let me see here.
I think we have a very good start.
Yeah, that's the class. Mazel tov.